The disappearance of the Sodder children. On Christmas Eve 1945, in Fayetteville, West Virginia, a fire engulfed the home of George and Jenny Sodder, an Italian-American couple with 10 children. What began as a tragic house fire turned into one of America's enduring mysteries, marked by eerie clues, suspicious circumstances, and a family's relentless search for answers. The case remains unsolved, steeped in horror and intrigue. The night of the fire. George Sodder, a successful coal truck driver, and his wife Jenny lived in a 2-story house with their 10 children, John, 23, Marion, 17, George Jr., 16, Maurice, 14, Martha, 12, Louis, 9, Jenny, 8, Betty, 5, Sylvia, 2, and Joe, 21, who was away in the army. The family was well-liked, though George, an Italian immigrant, had made enemies in the local Italian community due to his outspoken criticism of Mussolini. Around 12:30 a.m. on December 25, 1945, Jenny was woken by a phone call. A woman's voice asked for someone Jenny didn't know, followed by laughter and clinking glasses before the caller hung up. Jenny, assuming it was a prank, noticed the lights were on and the front door unlocked. Unusual, as the family was diligent about locking up. She locked the door, turned off the lights, and went back to bed. At 1 a.m., a loud bang on the roof startled Jenny awake, followed by the sound of something rolling. Moments later, she smelled smoke. She woke George, and they discovered the house was on fire. The couple, along with John, Marion, George Jr., and Sylvia, escaped. George broke a window to re-enter, cutting his arm, but flames and smoke forced him back. 5 children, Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty, remained trapped upstairs. George tried desperately to reach them. He attempted to climb the exterior wall but was driven back by heat. The family's ladder, usually kept by the house, was inexplicably missing. George tried to use his coal trucks to break into the second floor, but neither truck would start, despite being in working order earlier. Neighbors called the fire department, but the volunteer crew didn't arrive until 8 a.m. 7 hours later, as the town's fire chief claimed he couldn't drive the truck and no one else was available during the holiday. By morning, the house was reduced to ashes. The fire department conducted a brief search and concluded the 5 children had perished in the blaze. No remains were found, and the coroner attributed their deaths to the fire, issuing death certificates. The cause was officially listed as faulty wiring, but the Sodders, devastated and skeptical, began uncovering details that suggested something far more sinister. Unsettling clues and contradictions. The Sodders couldn't accept the official explanation. Several anomalies stood out. 1 no remains found. Despite the fire's intensity, experts later noted that a 2.5-hour fire, the time from ignition to collapse, at temperatures around 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit wouldn't completely incinerate human remains, especially for 5 children. Bones or fragments should have been recoverable, yet the search yielded nothing. Not even teeth, though household appliances were still identifiable in the rubble. 2. The missing ladder. The family's ladder, typically propped against the house, was found 75 feet away in a ravine, suggesting someone moved it before or during the fire. George was certain it was in place earlier that day. 3. The truck's failure. Both of George's coal trucks, which he used daily for work, inexplicably failed to start during the rescue attempt. A mechanic later confirmed they were in perfect working order, hinting at possible tampering. 4. Strange pre-fire events. In the months leading up to the fire, odd incidents occurred. A man posing as an insurance salesman visited George, warning him, "Your house will go up in smoke, and your children will be destroyed," after George refused to buy insurance and expressed anti-Mussolini views. Another stranger asked about hauling work but commented on the house's wiring, saying it would cause a fire someday, despite a recent inspection finding no issues. The children reported seeing a man watching them from a car parked near the house in the weeks before the fire. 5. The phone call and roof noise. Jenny was certain the late-night call and the bang on the roof were connected to the fire. A telephone repairman later found the phone line had been cut outside, not burned, suggesting sabotage. 6. Delayed fire response. The fire department's 7-hour delay was inexplicable. Fayetteville's small size Met responders were typically quick, yet the chief's excuse of being unable to drive the truck raised suspicions. Some speculated local officials were involved or covering up something. 7. Sightings of the children. In the days after the fire, witnesses reported seeing the 5 Sodder children. A woman at a Charleston hotel, 50 miles away, claimed she saw 4 of them with 2 men and a woman the morning after the fire. A truck stop waitress reported serving breakfast to children resembling the Sodders, accompanied by adults. These leads were dismissed by police as unreliable. The Sodders' investigation. Convinced their children were alive, George and Jenny launched their own investigation. They hired private investigators, consulted fire experts, and publicized the case. Key findings included: fire analysis. A fire marshal and crematorium experts confirmed that even intense house fires leave bone fragments. The absence of remains suggested the children weren't in the house when it burned. One theory was that the fire was deliberately set to destroy evidence of a kidnapping. Possible motives: George's anti-Mussolini stance may have antagonized members of the local Italian community, some of whom were tied to organized crime. The insurance salesman's threat and the stranger's comment about wiring pointed to premeditation. Some speculated the Mafia or a local power broker orchestrated the fire as retaliation. A mysterious photo. In 1967, Jenny received a photo in the mail of a young man resembling Louis Sodder, postmarked from Kentucky. On the back was written, "Louis Sodder. I love Brother Frankie. Ill boys. A 90132 or 35. The Sodders believed it was their son, now in his 30s, but couldn't trace the sender. They added the photo to a billboard they erected near the house, offering a $5,000 reward for information. Theories and speculation. Several theories emerged over the years. 1. Kidnapping. The Sodders believed the children were abducted, possibly by the Mafia or someone George had crossed. The cut phone line, missing ladder, and tampered trucks supported this. The sightings and the 1967 photo fueled hope they were alive, perhaps taken to Italy or raised under new identities. 2. Arson as cover-up. The bang on the roof could have been a Molotov cocktail or incendiary device, as Jenny described the fire spreading unusually fast. The lack of remains and the staged elements, like the ladder, suggested the fire was meant to erase evidence of a crime. 3. Local corruption. Some believed local officials, including the fire chief and coroner, were complicit or negligent. The quick declaration of death, without a thorough investigation, and the delayed response raised suspicions of a cover-up, possibly tied to organized crime or local grudges. 4. Accidental fire, unlikely circumstances. The official report of faulty wiring was plausible, but the absence of remains and the string of odd events made this theory less convincing to the Sodders and investigators. The aftermath. The Sodders never stopped searching. They maintained the billboard for decades, distributed flyers, and followed every lead. George died in 1969, Jenny in 1989, and their surviving children continued the quest. Sylvia, the youngest, who was 2 at the time, kept the case alive until her death in 2021. The family's descendants still seek answers, maintaining a website and social media presence. The case has inspired books, documentaries, and podcasts, including a 2005 NPR story and a 2017 BuzzFeed Unsolved episode. The billboard is gone, but a memorial stands near the site of the Sodder home. No definitive evidence, remains, confessions, or verified sightings has ever surfaced. The horror and mystery. The Sodder case is chilling for its blend of personal tragedy and eerie unknowns. The idea of 5 children vanishing without a trace, coupled with signs of sabotage and possible conspiracy, evokes a primal fear of losing loved ones to unseen forces. The mysterious phone call, the bang on the roof, the missing ladder, and the haunting 1967 photo create a narrative that feels like a ghost story, yet it's rooted in real-life grief. The possibility that the children were taken, perhaps alive for years, unaware of their family's search, adds a layer of psychological horror. Equally unsettling is the thought of a small town hiding dark secrets, with officials possibly complicit in burying the truth. The Sodder story lingers because it defies closure. Were the children victims of a vengeful act, spirited away in the night? Or did they perish in a tragic accident? Their remains somehow lost? The absence of answers, combined with the tantalizing clues, makes this one of the most haunting unsolved mysteries in American history.